When you learn from him today, you will also understand why I am telling these things. And we are approaching 7:21 very fast. And I would like to invite today's faculty and handing over the floor to our renowned faculty. Let us welcome by chatting here. Welcome. Just type welcome. Okay. Just type welcome. Just type welcome. just type welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Just type welcome. ऐसे नहीं आते हैं. ओके प्रीतम जी, वेरी वेरी थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू. ये हमारी भारतीय परंपरा है कि जब भी कोई गेस्ट हमारे यहाँ आता है तो हम उन्हें स्वागत करते हैं. अतिथि देवो भवः, ये हमारा नियम है, हमारी संस्कृति है. तो आज के हमारे गेस्ट फैकल्टी हैं मोस्ट रिनाउंड फैकल्टी इन इंडिया in the area of mind mapping, speed reading and memory power. आज आपको ये समझ में आएगा. मैं चाहूंगी से कि हम आपके साथ क्वेश्चन आंसर्स भी करेंगे. At the end of this webinar, open the forum for question answer. And meanwhile, if you have any question, please type in chat box and he will reply accordingly. I suggest you to keep a pen and paper ready for your exercises, as we are going to do various exercises in today's 80 to 90 minute seminar, and your memory power, mind power, and everything will increase dramatically at the end of this webinar. That is my commitment and guarantee to you all. Let us welcome our today's faculty, Mr. Karthik from Bangalore. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Chauhan sir, for that lovely introduction. So if all of you can see me and hear me, just type in C. If you can see me and hear me, just type in C. Okay, great, great. So because we are actually in front of the computers and each one of us are connected from different places, so I definitely want this to be interactive so that we can communicate better. And thank you so much and welcome all of you to be, for this particular session. I am so happy that all of you could be doing something else today. It's a weekend. You could be spending time with your family. You could be watching TV. You could be doing something else, but you have taken time and attending this. I will give my best to create the value that you can actually deserve so that you can take best out of this 70 to 80 minutes that we'll be spending today. Okay, so thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and let's get started with a simple question. How many of you want to be successful in your life? Just type in. Very nice. You see Preetham is from Bangalore. Very nice, Preetham. Yeah, let's type in. How many of you want to be successful in your life? Type in. If you want to be successful, type in. Yeah, me. So Sarita says yes, Seman says me, Sakshi says yes, me. Very nice. And Sunita says me. Jai says me. Wow, very nice. So this is one question. Yeah, Prasad said my profile picture is Safalta. Okay, me. Very nice. Very nice, Prasad, to see that, your profile picture itself is success. Very nice. See, most of us actually, want to become successful. One of the biggest challenge I've seen is that what is success? Success is different for different people, right? So how many of us have defined the success is one important question that we need to ask. Okay. So how many of you know what is your success? Type in if you know your success. Type in success. If you don't know, then type in no. Let me see how many of you understand, So how many of you know what is your success? Not just because you're doing something, because somebody has told you. Yeah, Shweta says success. Yeah, Preetham says yes. Very nice. Sunita says yes. Very nice. Many of you know what is your success. Yeah, Prasad says yes. Very nice. If you can actually define your success already, then you're already one step, ahead, right? So let us start with, a few questions, because this is very important to know, right? So how many of you actually, have gone through, you have attended different seminars or webinars or different classes, and after you attended, can you see my screen? I just wanted to make sure you're able to see my screen. In the screen, what I'm sharing is challenges. If you are seeing this challenges thing, just type in C. Just type in C. So I know that you are able to see this, whatever the screen I'm actually referring. Yeah. Oh, okay, fine. So you're able to see. Okay, fine, fantastic. So let me start with this first question. How many of you attended a lot of seminars or courses? When you're attending, you are understanding everything. The moment you were walking out of this, you're forgetting the things, or you're not able to recall. How many of you are facing this challenge? If you're one among them, then type in me, okay? So don't be shy. Don't, feel that how other people are going to be looking at. Absolutely, people are, as strangers. And the more you are able to tell me the, answers, the more I'll be able to help you out. Yeah, Shweta being honest, she says me, fantastic. Then let me ask you this question. How many of you have heard about, yeah, many of you, right? So Sakshi says me, Sanjay says me, and a lot of people actually, having this challenge, absolutely. So how many of you have got a great team, but you don't know how to leverage this time, or you are something like you always keep getting great ideas, but you don't know how to implement it. How many of you have this challenge? Let me know. How many of you have this challenge? Yeah. So yes says I, Sakshi says me. Yeah, you keep getting some great ideas. You think that if you can implement this, literally you can change the world, right? So if you are that kind of an idea person, innovative, you keep thinking and you have those ideas. Yes. Yes, Sabritam says, yes, can see we have been attending and my organization has been conducting seminars and workshops. Fantastic, Pritam. Very nice to know, actually. So that, many of the trainers are coming. It's very, very important. I would say no matter what you're actually doing, I strongly believe you are a teacher. Everyone is a teacher, right? Because one or the other day, if somebody says that you are not a teacher, let me illustrate this, right? You're going to train your teacher, you're going to train your kid, you're going to teach your kids. It may be ABCD, it doesn't matter, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means you are a teacher. Every person of us are being teacher, whether you want to admit or not, it's a secondary one, right? So how many of you actually have going through a challenge of perfections? You want to do great things, but because you think that, okay, I could have done better, let me do it better and then I'll get started. Or because of that, you're holding a lot of projects with you. Now be honest and open, because that's going to give me a view of what exactly all of you are facing through, right? Let me know. If you are one of them, just type in BOT. So I'll know. Or PERF. PERF. So if you are a person who is actually looking for a perfection, so that's something, very amazing, right? Yeah. So Jai says, Shweta says, Yash says, many of you, right? I still seeing a lot of things coming in. The most important thing, if you are one among these things, or that you are actually looking at, then yeah, I prefer excellence over perfection. Very good, Prasad. So as long as you have the clarity, that is fantastic, right? So if you are having any one of these challenge in your day-to-day life, that means you have come to the right place here. Okay, so you're going to find a solution as soon as you're moving out of this session. So you'll find a solution how exactly you can start solving some of this challenge. So before I get started, this webinar is going to be purely on Mindmap actually, but I want to hear from many of you, all of you. How many of you know about mind maps? If you know, if you have heard about Mindmap, then you tell me you're a Mindmap, MM. If you don't know, then type in, yeah, you're fresh, just so that I know that you're able to figure it out. Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out so that I can structure it. Okay. Somewhat, Shweta says, yeah, Mindmap, I know. Yes, Triangle says somewhat not clear. Sakshi says, no problem, don't worry. Perfection in my opinion is elusive. Journey towards perfection is never ending. Perfect. Well said, Preetham. So absolutely, perfection is the where you want to reach, but you will never reach. I like that. Yeah. Good cards, Jai says new. Okay, so most of you are new to this mind maps. So let me take one step back and I'll explain what exactly is a mind map, so you'll be able to understand what I'm actually talking about, right? Now, so mind map is one of the powerful technique. The human brain. Okay, let me start with this question, because no matter how much I'll explain, until you get involved, you'll not be able to get the maximum out of this, right? So let's say you buy a mobile. I'm aware of this technique, Pritham. Very nice. Okay, if you guys already know about mind maps, and how many of you rate yourself as a beginner, intermediate, or expert? If you are a beginner, type in BAG. If you are a medium, you type in MED, and if you are expert, EXP. So Aman says beginner. Okay, very nice. Yes says beginner. Okay. Jai says beginner. Thank you for actually interacting. This is very important, because Sakshi says beginner. So it will help me to structure it, the way. If most of you are beginners, then I have to talk to you from the basics point of view, right? Yeah, Sarita says beginner. Prasad says medium. Yeah, Pritham says beginner. Okay. So most of you are actually, Raj also says beginner. So fair enough. That means most of the audience either might have been have heard about the terminology mind map, but you have started using it probably, or you're at the early stage, is what I would understand the audience today. So I'll structure in the entire presentation so that all of you are able to get the maximum benefit out of it, right? Now, so what is a mind map? So before we start with the mind mapping, let me ask, see, most of the common things, whatever I'm going to talk today, I'm going to connect with our common man's analogy so that you can understand it better, because you're coming from different backgrounds, right? So let's start with one question. How many of you, have been using mobile now, right? How many of you have been using mobile till now? And assume that you're going to get a new mobile. So what are the different things that you're going to do? The moment you ordered a new mobile, the new mobile has come to you. So what will be your next step? Can you type in? Can you type in? Can you type in? What will you do when the mobile comes to you? You have ordered a new mobile and the mobile has arrived. So what are the different things that you do? Do you explore it? So do you actually, look for features, settings, explore it? Yeah, it's exploring its functions. Jai says, yes, says look for features, settings. Yeah, absolutely. You will start looking at different features. If you don't find out what are the different features, what will you do? So I'll go refer to the manual and read the features. Preetham, you are spot on, right? And Sarita says you'll add to my contacts, and Prasad says I'll go through the new feature of mobile. Absolutely. So there is nothing called as right or wrong answer here, but these are different things different people will do. But if you don't find out the relevant features, you'll go back and look at the manual, right? So for mobile, you have a manual. Now let me ask you one question. Out of the whole body that we have got, which is the most powerful things? I'm going to give you 4 options, right? Like KBC, we're going to give you 4 different options. Option number 1. So the first one is brain. Option number 2, it is going to be hands. Option number 3, it is going to be your leg. Option number 4, it is going to be fingers. Out of this option 1, 2, 3, 4, which one do you choose? So the change is that all of you are able to answer this today. It's an audience poll. So Preetham says brain, yeah. Shweta says brain. Yeah, so audience are actually first is fingers first, I mean, basically, yeah, Sakshi says brain. Absolutely, most of you are rating for brain. Now, let me ask you this question. If the brain is the most powerful thing in the whole body, do you have the manual for it? Do you know you're using your brain in an effective manner? If you say, if you know the answer as yes, I mean, basically, if you know the manual, then you type in yes. If you don't know the manual, type in no. No, yes says no, and I start seeing the answers coming with no, 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 correct? It's absolutely right, because if you don't know there is such thing called as a manual that exists for your brain, how do you know that you are using it effectively is the question that we need to ask ourselves, right? So now the mind map is one of the most powerful technique which is going to help you in making your brain to work at its optimal level. So it is going to take it to the next level. Okay, so now this is what we are actually looking at. So how many of you like this is a memory simple memory technique, or rather than telling a memory technique, because many of you will think that the moment I'm talking about memory it's only for kids. It's not about for kids, it's about how do you get an optimal utilization of your brain. So to use that, we use this tool actually called mind map. If you are looking at my screen with a center with a circle thing, there are branches that is going on. So this is a classic example of how a mind map will look like. Okay, this is how a mind map will look like. Okay, so we are going to go through the entire presentation today through this mind map. So I still see some of the comments coming in. Today's word Google is manual for many people, agree. And then Preetham says our parents are the manuals. Fine. I mean, basically, provided that your parents know how exactly it's going, you have to use your brain. They will come up with a manual when they'll guide you with that. But still, there is no guarantee that they're using the brain to the maximum extent, right? Now, how many of you like stories? Let me start with the story actually. How many of you like stories? If you like story, just type in ST. Okay, Sakshi says Hindi, and I think it'll be difficult for me to actually shuffle between English and Hindi. So I can actually focus on one language. Which one you want to focus? Do you want to go in English or you want to go with Hindi? Whatever the people will say maximum, I'll focus on that. Prasad says I like stories. Yeah, English. Okay. Raj says Hindi. Yeah. Okay. Yes says English. Hindi, okay. Three English and two Hindi. Vinay, oh God, is getting neck to neck. English, okay. I see many people coming with English actually, because if I try mixing, right, it will be a challenging actually. So I can either stick to English or Hindi, so that it becomes okay. I think many people are voting for English. So we are going to proceed with English today. If you want a Hindi one, we can have a separate Hindi webinar. Okay, I'm okay with that. Okay, so we'll let you know when the next Hindi webinar is going to happen, so we can actually attend. Okay, now let's look at this story. The story I'm going to talk about is about Mahabharata, wherein you have a great warrior who is Karna, and he'll be in the peak of the war. He will have everything actually, looking at. So he will start, at the peak of the war, he'll try to start using his weapon. That means basically arrow, and he forgets his mantra. Whatever he was supposed to be using at the right time, he forgets it. So what happens when he forgets the mantra at the peak of the war? What is the consequence? So what is the consequence actually? What happens to Karna in the war? Yeah, so what happens to the Karna? Absolutely, that's because of the Shapa, or he gets killed. He loses his life, correct? So Jai says, and Prasad says, and Shweta says, absolutely, that's spot on. So if you are not able to recall, likewise it is like lose. Absolutely, when you are losing your life, absolutely you lost everything, you lost the battle. Now, why I'm actually quoting the story of Mahabharata? This is absolutely the same way it happens in our life. There's a specific reason all these stories have been told to us when we are young. In our day-to-day life also, we come across various situations where you will be, you might have, most of you might have attended, right? How it happens. You prepare the entire year for the examination hall. And if you go and write those exam in 3 hours, and if you can't recall what you have learned in the one year, that's it. You're gone. It's not about how much you can learn. It's about how much you can recall. Okay, that's the fact. I want to stress this. I'm going to talk about this term again and again. Please, take a special note of it. If you can learn this one thing when you're going out of this webinar, I'll tell you it's going to be a magic that you're looking at. Okay. So let me start with the gratitude of, the people behind this. I would like to thank the Suren, who is the CEO of the Success Gyan, through which my mind mapping skills have become, exposed to a bigger extent. And then Sid, my online guru, and my uncle and aunt, Madan Gopal and Vatsala, and my school, Navodaya school, where I studied, that's where I am actually today, right? So now is it okay if I spend just 2 minutes quickly to introduce myself so that you know with whom actually you're listening to, or whether I'm the competent person to talk about this or not, right? Is this okay? If you're okay with that, just type in PG, permission granted, so that I'll get started with this. Yeah, thank you Jai, Yash, Prasad, and most of you for giving this. Yeah, so now let me get started with this. So my name is Infinity Karthik Satyamurthy, and if you are actually looking at this, look at this diagram. Okay, 8 is being actually made to sleep. That represents the infinity. And you can look at the car, which is a thick car. The reason why I'm actually putting this is you might be attending a lot of webinars and you will forget the speaker names. I don't want any of you to forget my names. I'm using the simple technique so that you can remember me. It's a thick car which is there. That is why you call it as Karthik. Okay. So now how my journey of mind mapping started. So it's very interesting to know how my story started. I've been using the mind map from over 20 years, like 2 decades. I strongly believe in with one principle, that is every war is won before it is ever fought. So if you're not good in your planning, obviously you're going to be failing then. And I'm also a referee with Indian National Memory Championship. So now what happened was back then when I was, when I was in school, I had a very unique challenge wherein I used to be attending the class. I used to understand everything. The moment I used to walk out of it, I used to forget the things. I went to the teacher and I asked, Madam, I'm not able to remember the things after I walk out, but when I'm actually looking at, I'm able to understand it. Then Madam said that you're not focusing enough, Karthik. From tomorrow you start focusing. So I was so much excited. I started focusing so much, not even looking at girls. You can imagine the kind of focus I started building, but still, no luck, history repeated. So then what I started doing is I started asking to, okay, there are a lot of people actually, can we go and mute other people? I'm just muting you all. Okay, sure, thank you. Fine, I've muted all of you so that nobody else gets disturbed, right? So then I started asking all my friends, and surprise to surprise, I got to know that they also had the same problem. So I was at least convinced it was not only me, I had enough people who had the same problem. So then I started developing, I started looking at back those days, hardly we had any internet. So only source was through the books and magazines. I came across this particular technique called Mindmap through 2 different magazines called Competition Success Review and Success Digest. Then I read about this and I started using this. From then onwards, entire thing changed. I had a lot of time to play because I could finish a lot of my work early. And that's what we need as a kid, right? So then I started growing my corporate ladder, and after that I stopped using it. Okay, I thought why I should use it. It's only for studies and kids and other stuff. But as I started growing in my corporate ladder, I figured out that I started getting more and more project. Responsibility grew. The team also grew. So there are a lot of meeting happening, a lot of action items. I could not figure out which action item coming to which meeting. Then stress started building up. So I said, what is that I can do which I can solve this problem? Then I realized that during my school days, I've been using mind maps. If I start using it now, again, things are going to make a difference. So that's how I started using mind maps again. Then the entire thing changed. We also use it for business, capturing minutes of meeting, organizing, planning, and everything. Okay, that's how we started with this. This is my family. So me and my wife and my kid. My father is Satyamurthy, who is also a Douglas therapist, and he treats the patients, without giving it medicine. I mean, basically without going through an English medicine, right? So now let's understand why this mind mapping is there. So you will be able to understand it better and connect it. So now why mind map? So this is a great for organizing and the clarity. If you see the way that we are actually looking at, so the entire presentation that we are looking at is given in a single mind map, right? So you can actually you can summarize the entire book within one page, which is absolutely possible. I'm going to show you one book that we have completely, summarized using the mind maps. So it will be absolutely, a really good thing to actually watch. Have you come across a situation wherein you have gone to a marriage hall, or you have actually, going to some function and somebody walks to you and says, how are you? And you recall their name, but you can't recall their face. I mean, you can't recall their names. You have seen them somewhere. The face is familiar, but you are not able to recall their name. How many of you have faced this problem? Just type in. Yeah, Prasad says me. Yeah, yes says I. Yeah, so Prasad has put one comment, I missed it. You have infinite language knowledge. Prasad, the reason this is a name that is given by my friends actually. It's not because I have infinite language, infinite knowledge. It's because I strongly believe for every problem you've got an infinite solution. And I'm also an recipient of Infinity Award from from my organization, which is given to a very top 1% of the population. So that's why people call me Infinity. Yeah, so I see that Prasad, Yash, Jai, Vinay, Sarita, Nitesh, and Prasad, all of us are saying yes, right? Many of you are facing this problem, right? So absolutely, if you are facing that, that's absolutely normal. You don't need to worry. It's a common problem. It's because the mind is designed to actually capture the images better. The more you actually are able to recall images, the better you're going to get it. So the pictures are worth 1,000 words. So people actually remember the face and they can't recall their names just because of this. That's how the brain is designed. So if you are able to associate them in the right fashion, you'll be able to recall them. So for brainstorming, you can actually do a brainstorm of the entire thing within this. We'll do a live exercise on the brainstorming of the whole audience. Okay, how you can create a runtime mind map, that will be very interesting to do. We'll do some exercise. Okay, and then also you're talking about incremental. So what is incremental? See, we don't want to sit and create the entire plan, right? Entire plan in one go. So the idea is that whenever you get an idea, so you start accumulating. One fine day you'll have a beautiful thing. This is what we call as an incremental thing. So the other one is called non-linear versus linear. It may be slightly a technical term. So rather than explaining, I will illustrate this with an exercise. You will understand how is it. And the quick recall. So this is one of the biggest advantage of using a mind map. You can save 92% of your recall time. Okay, just to illustrate the way that our brain works, how we are going to be looking at to look at the optimal way of working this. Let me illustrate with a common man's analogy so that you can understand it better. For example, I'm going to give you a pot. In this pot, you're going to put the water, but only condition is that this pot has some small holes, and because of these holes, the water can escape and go out, right? Yeah, yes, correct. Thick car means Karthik. So now the water can go out. Now, if I put a water, if I fill this pot, what will happen to this water after some time? Please go ahead and actually answer it. The more you are able to answer, more energy I'm going to get. If I'm getting more energy, I'm going to get more value. Correct? So if you have a pot of water, pot which is going to be drained, say, yeah, yes, sir, it's going to be drained away. Yeah, drains out. Absolutely right. Now, if you want that water to be retained in the pot, what do you have to do? What do you have to do? What do you have to do? Correct? Have you ever thought? Why I'm giving this analogy? You'll be surprised. It says, Nitesh says, cover the hole. Absolutely. But if you don't have an option to cover the hole, so you can go and patch up that, but there'll be another new hole gets opened. That's how the pot is designed. You go and cover that hole, there'll be a new hole that will get opened. In that case, what do you do? So pipe, that means you're going to fill the water again, right? You're going to fill the water again. Right. Okay. So why I'm quoting this example? This example is very, very important. The way our human brain works is absolutely the way a pot which is filled with the water with the hole on it. Okay. If you can't, there is no way you're going to close the hole for it. Okay. If you want to retain the water, only ways that you got to keep refilling the water. If you start refilling this water, then only it will be retained. So Aman says, make ice of water. If you had that privilege, absolutely yes. But if you don't have, you don't have the option, correct? So now, why I'm quoting this? See, whatever you're learning, if you don't recall it in the next 72 hours, like 24 hours, 48 hours, and 72 hours, you'll be losing 90% of whatever you've learned. That means you've attended any webinars, seminars, and other stuff. If you don't recall it in next 24, 48, and 74 hours, then you're absolutely gone. 90% is gone. You're left with only 10%. Absolutely the way you're putting the water and the water is getting drained out. So you're wasting a lot of resources and energy. So how do you recall it back? How do you refill the pot? The way the refilling of the pot is done by recalling it again and again. The more you recall, the more you'll be able to clear with the concept. Remember I told you about our example of the boar with the karna. What happened? It's not about how much you learn. It's about how much you can recall. So always should be in touch. Yes, basically there is a formula that you got to use. The more and more you are able to recall, or there are techniques, even if you're not able to remember the entire thing, that's okay. But when you need it, you should be able to recall it. That's how it is going to be structured. That's the beauty of mind map. So if I don't, sometimes what happens, I'll not get a time to recall whatever I studied for 74 hours. But what I do is whenever I'm studying, I will prepare a mind map of the entire session. So what happens, even after 6 months, 1 year, if I can just go and look at those mind maps, I'll be able to recall the entire thing, what you're looking at, right? Those are all technique. One thing, it's always, remember one thing, it's all about technique. If you're not able to solve any problems, it's not that you're not capable, it's just that you don't know the technique to solve that. The moment you master that technique, you're going to become awesome actually, right? So now okay, so I'm going to tell you one more story so that you'll be able to illustrate, but we'll do that after we do the exercise. Okay, why we have to do this exercise? No matter how much I'm going to tell you, after you go out in next 72 hours, first 24 hours, close to 70% anyway you'll forget. Next to 48 hours, anyway you're going to lose 90% of whatever you're going to learn today. Okay, that's the fact. If you don't recall, it's not that I am telling, this is what the science and the entire thing is telling. Okay, so now the only way that you can actually remember the things is when you do certain things on your own. If you do some exercise and other stuff, you tend to remember it for a longer time. So whatever time you are spending here, I'm very much value your time. I don't want any of those things to be forgotten after some time. So that is why we are going to do this exercise. Okay, so yeah Pritam, technique is important. So there are couple of exercises that we'll do. The first one is the visualization exercise. Okay, so the visualization exercise, this exercise is going to be very simple. What you're going to do is you're going to close your eyes for 30 seconds. Okay, not more, just 30 seconds. You're going to visualize something. What is that visualize? Visualization is sun actually. How you're going to visualize, up to you. Okay, don't look at something, whatever is written, just go with your own flow. Close your eyes, very simple. The same sun, sun sun, which actually goes up in the sky, the same sun is that. You're going to look at the sun, visualize it, close your eyes and think about that sun for 30 seconds. Nothing, very simple. And after 30 seconds is over, you're going to share your experience here. Okay, is this fine? Now if their instruction is clear, type in crystal. If the instruction is clear, type in crystal. If the instruction is not clear, I'm just say repeat. I am happy to repeat it once again. Yes says crystal, Jay says crystal. Yeah, it's very simple, no rocket science, very simple, right? Crystal clear, fantastic. I like that word crystal. Crystal makes huge difference, Yeah. Fantastic. So we will get started. I'm going to put a timer on. So everyone will have 30 seconds. Please take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Visualize for 30 seconds. As soon as 30 seconds is over, I'm going to tell you stop, and you can stop and you can share your experience. Okay. And your time starts now. Go ahead. Stop, stop. Your time is up. Okay. So now let me hear from all of you. What exactly did you see? What exactly did you see? Just type in the chat. Orange ball of feet. Very nice, guys. Yeah, there's nothing called as right or wrong. Okay. So each one of you are correct because the same thing, right? Orange, rising sun. Sarita says rising sun. Very nice. Sunrise and sunset. Yashpal says very nice. Sakshi says sunrise. Very nice. Let me see. Sky with sun rising. Nitesh, fantastic. Raj says golden light. Very nice. Golden light. Very appealing. Are you seeing the difference? Each one of them have the different way of actually looking at it. Very interesting. I'd start watering looking at the bright sun. Wow, Preetham, you are able to visualize it better. Maybe very strongly. That's why you're feeling that. So Nitesh says it is bright. Prasad says being very close to sun, I got burnt to ashes. Wow. So this is very, very different experience that I'm hearing, right? So very nice to see that Prasad has decided to go closer to the sun. Yeah, but it's again entirely different experience. Each one of you can visualize in a different way. Remember one thing, I gave you the same problem statement to all of you, but everyone came out with the different answers. But there's nothing called as right or wrong answer for this. But that's how the different type of variety our brain can think about. But we're not utilizing this in the right way because we've never been taught in the right way how we should actually structure this approach or how you can optimize it, right? So now actually why I'm actually talked about visualizing a sun, there are a couple of reasons why I wanted all of you to visualize a sun. The specific reason being that when you actually start looking at the sun symbol will almost represent your mind map or whatever I've written here, right? Almost like that one. So whenever somebody is going to talk about mind map going forward, at least you should be able to visualize a sun. Okay, if you're able to do that, then as a teacher, I've done my job of actually making you feel the understanding of the importance of this, which means this is a race that is going out of it. That means you have a core, from there rays are going, and this race can go deep and deep and deep, and it can travel to as far location like an earth. Where is sun, where is moon? The sun, the rays can pop out like this. That's the kind of intensity it has. Our brain also has a similar kind of intensity. The ideas that is coming in, if you prompt it right way, it can go deep, deep, deep. But if you're not prompting deep enough, it will die in between. The ideas can dive in, but it has the capability. You know how it is getting connected, why I'm connecting both of them, the sun and this one. And sun comes with an energy, complete energy source that is coming in. That kind of energy is also possible in our day-to-day life to achieve it, right? So when you start looking at, the more and more you see towards sun, if you're using the sun's energy in the right way, you will actually start growing in terms of energy. Similarly, in your brain, the more and more you start using, more and more you're going to get the things. So brain is designed for actually thinking, but we are putting a lot of stress on other stuff, which is not the right way of looking at it. Okay, so we'll look at those various things. So we'll do another exercise, but it will not be a gently, but we'll take another one which is going to illustrate between what is the difference between linear thinking and non-linear thinking. It's very important to understand how why a linear thinking and non-linear thinking is important, right? So linear, we will illustrate with an example. We'll do two exercise. The exercise number 1, we will make a list of the things, which is required for a child education. Now all of us have a child in our home, whether it's your own or whether you are cousin or whomever it is, but most of us will have one or the other child. Even if you don't have, you have in your home, you will have somebody in neighbor's house, right? So the why you want to pick this topic, because it's very easy to connect, right? So the child education is the topic. We're going to do it, that exercise. All you have to do is, for a child to be successful in your life, what are the different education that they have to go through? You're going to write it down. Okay, so all of you are going to have 1 minute time, and then this 1 minute, no matter how much you're able to write, you keep writing it, and after 1 minute is over, you're going to tell the count how many areas that you are able to list it out. Okay, clear? Is the instructions clear? If the instruction is clear, type in crystal. If you are not clear, repeat. Okay, Pritham says repeat. Okay, fine. So now we are going to do the second exercise. The main objective of this exercise is to illustrate what is the difference between linear thinking and non-linear thinking. I tried explaining this over the webinar earlier. People have difficult time in understanding. So what I did was I converted this as an exercise, so it becomes an easy for you. So the theme is that child education. So we will do the same exercise so that you'll understand the difference between when you do it in the right way, how can your brain starts giving you more answers. Okay, same exercise. One, you will do it in your normal way, how you will do it. Second one, I'm going to teach you a technique. You'll use that technique to do the same exercise. You will see the difference. Okay, fair enough. Now the exercise will go for 1 minute, and you have to list out the topics. Child education means probably you've got to teach them the value system. Second one will be maybe during the health, or maybe you want to teach them science, right? These are the things, right? Yeah, Nitesh, you have to write it on your paper. Don't type it in the chat. After 1 minute is over, I will ask you guys to type it in the chat. In the chat also, you don't need to write the entire thing. Just give me the count. How many ideas that you got for a child education? Is the instructions clear? For example, value system. For your child, you're going to teach them value. Second one is being honest. Maybe next one is why you should do exercise. That is another topic, right? So if I write it as value system, one is value system, exercise, do exercise daily. Second, third one is habit. You are able to write 3 things. So your score at the end of 1 minute is, you will write it as 3. If you are able to list 5, 7, 10, you will write it as 10. That's it. Clear? The instruction is clear now. Type in crystal. So this is a timed exercise. There is a specific reason why we are doing it, okay, timed exercise, because the brain works on the principle of the focus. When you give a timeline, the brain works with absolute focus. Okay, that's why. So the time is going to be there for 1 minute time. So all of you are going to start your time now. Okay, I see many of you writing it as crystal. Fantastic. And your time starts now. And yeah, go ahead. Don't stop when you're writing it. Child education is the topic. Keep writing, okay? "30 seconds over." 1 minute over. Stop, 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 stop. Okay, now 1 minute is over. Let's try it. Yeah, Pritam says values introduce important discipline, playful yoga, belief system. Just give me the count, okay? Because it will take longer time for you guys to type. So let's keep it simple. Pritam, probably your values, you count it, 3 or 4, whatever your number. Sarita says 10. Sakshi maybe around 4, right? Type in. Yash says 7. Jai says 6. Yeah. 7, Nitesh, fantastic. All of you write down the score, okay? In your paper, like ex1 is equal to whatever number you've got. Exercise number 1, what is the score you've got on your paper, okay? So I have seen, different numbers coming in actually. So others who have done the exercise, please put those numbers, just a 5-level number, so that we save some time in typing. So Pritam says 9, very nice. Okay. So remember, the way that what you have actually thinking is the way that you have been thought through so far. Okay. So that is, the score is belonging to that. So that is why we are going to do as an exercise number 1. Okay. So now what we will do is, we will, is that everybody done? Please type in your numbers, because the more you are able to, participate, the best you're going to get out of me. Okay. Because I'll be able to help you out with this. Fine. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is, we are going to do another exercise, same exercise, but in a different way. Okay. Concept is same, but I'm going to teach you one technique. That technique is based on the mind maps. So I am going to teach you one mind map very quickly. You will learn this on the spot, and all of you will be able to attempt this. Okay. I hope all of you have got your paper and pen handy, right? Because you are able to write it. So I'm assuming that. So with that assumptions, if all of you are ready, type in ready, type in ready. And let me know if you can see the blank screen. If you can see the blank screen, just type in. Yeah, Jai, Sarita, everybody says ready, very nice. Just type in CC so that you are able to see my screen. Okay, so I'm going to teach you a simple technique. I'm not going to make it complicated. So we are going to write a sun actually. Remember, mind map means I told you that you have to remember a sun. So you'll remember it for a long time, okay? No matter even after how many years somebody asks you about the mind map, you should be able to say, yeah, immediately your son should recall, right? Now you're going to write this like this, and in the center, you will write it as a child education. It will be much more easier for you to write it on a paper than what I'm doing. I'm just showing it so that you're able to write it, right? So for example, I'm going to write it as science, okay? If I want to coach this to science to the kid. So what I'm going to do is, next one, what I have to do is, I can add this, like this. I can write a branches like this. And whatever the things related to my science, I can write, like chemistry, biology, physics. Correct? So when I'm going to count, it is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clear? Instructions clear? I'm going to show you this. Insert a text. So here I'm going to put as a biology. Correct? So then I'm going to copy paste this. So this is going to be chemistry. So I'm going to again paste this. I'm just doing it for your simplicity, okay? And physics. Similarly, you can write, health. Health can have health, anything like physical, mental. So you will actually start enhancing. So when you count the score, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ideas, you'll get it. Is the instructions clear? If the instruction is clear, type in Crystal. If you want me to repeat, let me know. I'm happy to repeat it. So I can write it as a value. And again, I can draw something like this. Whatever you related to value, being honest is a value, correct? I will not give you much clue, then you will not be able to think on your own. So I'm just giving you a high level idea so that you are able to relate. Okay. So this is a different way of thinking which I've taught you now. Okay. So now this is an exercise number 2. The rules of exercise number 2, rules of this exercise remain the same. You're going to get same 60 seconds like how you got for exercise 1. Only difference is that rather than writing it in a sequence manner, you're going to write it in a radial fashion. This is called radial, like you're spreading it, correct? You're spreading it. So if the instructions are clear, so I'm going to set my timer start. Okay, I'm going to set my timer now. Okay, and your time starts now. Start. You got exactly 1 minute. Don't worry, just go ahead and keep doing it. Thirty seconds over. Ten more seconds. And stop. Very important, you got to stop it. We got to stick to the rule because otherwise you'll not be able to compare, right? You have to compare apples to apple. Now let us know, just type in EXT and let me know the score. Exercise 2. So let me know, probably some of you are counting. As soon as you have started counting, just type in. Nitesh says 16, very nice. Yes says 13, very nice. Exercise 2. And those of you are done, like Nitesh, just type in your exercise number 1 score and exercise number 2 both actually. Jai 18, very nice. Sarita says 8, 6. Nitesh says 7 and 16, very nice. From 7 you went to 16, awesome. Are you seeing the difference actually? Where you're actually looking at just by implementing this technique? Simple thing. If you can pick this one thing out of this today, right, and use it in your day-to-day life, magic will happen. Okay, so if your boss is asking you to give 3 suggestions, you're able to give him 6-7 suggestions. Imagine how happy he'll be, right? Yeah, Jai, wow, look at this. Exercise number is 6. He went to 18. Wow, 300% increase. 3 times basically. Nitesh, got a double, more than 200%. Aman is 3 to 5. That's still okay. He is still almost close to 80% increase. Aman Gupta, right? So the Preetham actually 12. Yash is 7 and he went to 13, almost double. Very nice, Yash. Are you understanding the difference between linear way of thinking and non-linear way of thinking? Because I purposely wanted this exercise to be done because you are able to visualize the difference. So you can calculate yourself what is your score in exercise number 1, what is your score in exercise number 2. If your first exercise is 5 and in second exercise you got 10, that means you have doubled your impact of thinking. Just by using this technique, everything is same, okay? You are the same person. I'm not done anything specifically, but I taught you a different way of thinking and different way of implementing it on the paper. Just by doing that, you are just increased your creativity and you came out with multiple options, right? So that's the beauty of mind maps. The mind maps employ this non-linear way of thinking. So it will start whatever the power is there. Let me illustrate with the common man's analogy so that you'll be able to relate it better. It's like you are having a Ferrari car with you. Yeah, Sarita, thank you. It's like a Ferrari car with you, okay? If I give you, okay, for a minute, I'm going to gift a Ferrari car to all of you. Okay, happy? If you're not feeling happy, then there is something wrong. So enjoy it, okay? Enjoy it. Assume that you've got a Ferrari car, and then you are supposed to drive it on your metro roads. Means if you are from Bangalore, you're going to drive it in Bangalore. If you are from Bombay, you're going to drive it in Bombay. Whichever city you're coming in, okay, you're going to drive it in your city traffic. Will you be able to drive it with maximum speed? Let me ask you this question. Will you be able to drive it with maximum speed? Pritam says no. Absolutely. Why I'm quoting this example of a Ferrari car? All of you have been gifted with a Ferrari car, but you are driving it in the traffic. You are driving it in the traffic. Can you imagine it? How much we are underplaying ourselves.
యుద్ధము 18 days అయింది.
Can we just ask people to go on mute, please? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so this is what we are underplaying. You have the most powerful, thing in your you've been gifted with a Ferrari car and you want to drive it in the Bangalore traffic. Doesn't make sense. Why I had to illustrate this? You are the same person. Nothing has changed. I just changed the way of your thinking. And simple technique. I'm telling you, this is all about technique. If you're not able to excel in your life, you're not able to succeed in something in your life, it's just that you don't know the technique. That's it. Where you don't know where exactly you have a gap that needs to be filled in. So this is absolutely the thing, actually. Discussion, it's a way of thinking. Absolutely. Right? So there are different way of actually looking at this. Different tools that you can ask, where people asking me different things. You can do it on a paper and pen, like how we did it today. It's very simple that you can take and do it. There are different softwares that you can use it, like how I'm using it. It's called Mindmap, wherein you can use it. Different softwares have a different features, so you can reach out to me separately. I can tell you which one is better to use for which one, right? Now I'm going to illustrate this with some of the examples also. So we'll start with some case studies, okay? So where and all you can actually apply these techniques in your day-to-day life, okay? So in your business, if you are coming from a business, you can use it. If you are a trainer, okay? So in between, if you are a trainer, you absolutely know the way how it can be used for your training, because I'm just illustrating and just demonstrating how you can give the entire presentation with the business with the mind map. Okay, you'll be able to relate it. If you're coming from a business person, you can actually capture the entire discussion that you're having in the minutes of meeting and send it to him as soon as the meeting is over. People will be amazed to see what is this guy is doing about. He created this beautiful diagram. He'll not know what is that called mind map. He'll say he's created a beautiful diagram and he shared it immediately after the meeting, which is going to make you stand out from the other people, right? So people will think that you are thinking different. So I want to do a business with you. So it will be great. You can use it for task organization. You can do project management. Can you believe it? If you are actually any professionals who wants to do this for your day-to-day thing, you can use a project management. How you can do it in a project management? I will quote you this live case study which I personally used. This is called as a seed ball. This is one of the environmental project which involved us to actually do this project in 30 different districts across Karnataka simultaneously. This was the task that we are supposed to be doing it. This was a very complex project. Why I'm showing you complex things? So to get you a view of what is the complexity level you can manage when you start learning these different techniques. So we had to speak to 300 different people, and 300 different people were involved. Separate meeting, nobody's meeting is going to get overlap. Everybody has to work independently. There are different people coming from forest department, educational department, students, teachers, parents, entirely unconnected. And then you got a different skill set, each one of them coming with a different skill set. We did a discussion with everybody. We captured all the minutes in the brains in the mind mapping, like how we did it. So we'll do an exercise, okay? Live demo of this, how we could do it actually. And we did the entire thing, and after that we came out with the planning, and the planning also came out with the mind map. We did the entire project plan in the mind map, and the execution was done, and then we got a fantastic results. Okay, So that's the complexity. To give you an idea, there were close to 20,000 people who are involved in the actual execution of this. That's the kind of complexity I'm talking about. So templates, you have a lot of templates. We'll walk you through some of the templates now. This can be for meetings, organizing different things, and for day planning, everything that you can do it. Remember here, you can do multiple meetings and you can club all those meetings together and still have single mind map. Like how I do it in my day-to-day life is, even though there are 100 meetings that we'll have, I'll create a separate mind maps of those 100 meetings, but I'll club this with one meeting. So if somebody comes and says, I want to see what was discussed on some specific day, let's say 2 months back or 7 months back on this specific day on this particular project, if they ask me what was the discussion that was done, I'll open the mind map, I'll go to that specific date, and I'll show them these are the discussion that has happened in single mind map. Okay, in single mind map. This is how you can structure it. I'm talking about few months back. Okay, so you don't need to remember in your brain, you know how our brain is designed. It's see, everybody has a strength and weakness, right? If you understand what is your brain's strength and what is your brain's weakness, then you could be a better person. You can play with your strength. You can actually make sure that weakness is taken care. So brain, 90% is going to be getting evaporated in 72 hours. Now, by adopting a mind map technique, I don't need to remember. I will just open and recall. My recall capacity is going to be 92% faster. Right? That's how actually you develop. That's how you bring down your stress level. What is the value that you're going to put to your stress? Okay, by remembering a lot of things. So that's why I'm saying it's not for students, it's for everybody. You got to manage it, you got to learn it. So there are different travel checklists that is there. I'm going to show you some templates that we did. Okay, so you can do it for a travel checklist and everything. So let me show you one, the mind map that I did for a notes that we have taken, or probably I can walk you through. Yeah, so this was for one of the mind map that I did for one of the sessions. So this was done probably, I would have put the date actually at the center. So is that all of you are able to see my screen? So probably this was done close to 2-3 weeks back. You have the date here. Can you see the date? If you are able to see the content as Ruth saw and the date as 5th of August, just type in C. CC, so that I know you're able to see the same screen. Do you see the date as 5th of August? Fantastic. Thank you for the confirmation. So in this particular exercise, what we did was we created this mind map, and in fact I created this mind map live when I attended this seminar. Look at the way this mind map has been created. I don't need to remember everything, but when I look at this mind map, everything will come out like a movie. So she talked about Gallup, one of the research institution. She talked about Sun Tzu, which talks about the art of war. She talks about the clarity, and do you actually struggle in making the decision. She talks about ARQ technique. It's the time to shine. I'm not going in detail. Okay, she did a game and she asked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games she conducted. Okay, I have written all 7 games. I can tell you what games were there. If you want me to explain this, she would have spoken about the entire thing in 1 hour. I can summarize you the entire thing in 5 minutes. And if you want me to repeat the entire seminar for half an hour, I can do that. That's the kind of thing that you can actually get master of this. Okay, just recalling. Okay, not answering, because answering is something different, right? So you have a battle. What is your daily habit and how you're looking at? She talks about the Bruce Lee's terminology, which I also use a lot. It's not about how Bruce Lee says that it is not about, I don't fear about a person who has practiced 10,000 kicks one time, but I fear a person who know only one kick, but he has practiced 10,000 times. So that's the power of this. That's what Bruce Lee says. All these things, this was attended, close to 3 weeks back. And entire thing I'm able to recall just by looking at the mind map. But if you ask me to recall the entire thing without looking at the mind map, I may not be able to recall the way I'm able to do it right now. Correct? I'm going to show you one more thing. which is about a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Can you see the screen? Do you see a screen which talks about Rich Dad Poor Dad? Do you see Rich Dad symbol at the center? So this is one of the famous book which was written, right? So for those of you, how many of you read this book? Let me know. Have you read this book? If you have read this book, type in read. Yeah, yes says me. Yeah, people who have read this book, I'll tell you, will be able to relate this far better, right? Because this is one of the famous book when it comes to financial health. Yeah, I'm glad so many people have read. Yash, Sunita, and then Jai and everybody, right? So if you have read this book or if you have not read this book, doesn't matter. I'm currently reading Prasad. Fantastic. You have actually seen this. If you're reading it, you should learn the this mind map technique and prepare the mind map of this. Okay, so it talks about the introduction of the author, how the rich people think they never work for money. They look at acquiring the assets, they'll make money work for them. So their rich people are good in literacy, they're good about the finance, they know how to actually make the money, and they acquire, but the poor acquire the liabilities. Rich will invest in assets, they always have their positive cash flow. They invest in real estate, bonds, property, whichever will generate more money for them. And they strongly believe in the cooperation. They're very much helpful, and they always look at thinking and creating win-win situations. And they always very helpful. They're being trained on the financial IQ. They know how the taxes works, they know how it works. And then mind, they have got they're really good risk takers, and they actually create enormous amount of wealth, wherein the people who are actually many times they spend a lot of time on the job. So they're just over broke, they just focus on wealth. And then they actually make sure that they're just being paid for whatever it is there. Whenever they come across the obstacles, they actually walk out. There are a lot of laziness, arrogance, bad habit that comes in. And then because of that, they're not able to succeed. They're always expenses are more their income. So one or the other day, they'll always be thinking about how can I overcome this expense. For those of you who have read this book already, do you think I've summarized it fair enough in the last 3 to 5 minutes that I have spent just going through that mind map? Is that a fair summary? For those of you who read, and those of you who have not read also, whatever the summary I've given, is it a fair thing that I have spoken about? Correct? Because even if you have not read it, I've given you the summary of the book. If you decide that, okay, this is a book that you want to read, you can just go and buy and read it. Yeah, fair enough, right? That's a high level summary about the entire book. Now that's the beauty of mind maps. You are reading the book now. Maybe you want to recall it at a later stage, after 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years later. You will still be able to recall as though it was done just 24 hours back. Okay, why I'm insisting on this? We are designed and we are gifted with the most powerful thing on the planet Earth. It is our brain. But we are using that Ferrari car, we are driving it in the Bangalore traffic or in the metropolitan traffic. Start looking at the location where you can drive the Ferrari. You got to look for a place where you can just go and create your own road, which is going to drive you with that speed. Okay. Now, why we'll do a live exercise? Is this okay? Do you guys want to see something done live? Do you want to see a live mind mapping done? If you want to see, you got to show some energy. Okay, type in live. If you're showing that energy, I'm going to illustrate it live actually. Right? Yeah, live. Very nice. So I see Aman, Yash, Prasad, Jai, and Sarita, and many of you have started doing that. I like that energy. Okay, so we'll open and do one live mapping. Okay, so this is one live mapping that we are actually doing it. I'm going to click on this. So we'll do the same concept that we did actually, child education, because just now you did the exercise, you are fresh. So we'll take that. Today's date is around 29th August. So 29th August, you can take it. And I'm going to start a blank one. Okay. Can you see on the center, child education, 20th August 2020? Are you able to see this on the screen? Can you see it? If you can see that, type in C. Yeah, Jai says, what is this tool? This tool is called Iowa. Probably I'll pass on this link. Yeah, so Chauhan sir, can you just put the feedback form with all of the people? So those of you are going to fill this template, fill that feedback form. So what we will do is we're going to pass on this, all the tools that you can actually use it for your day-to-day life. I'm going to send you a PDF that will have which tools you can use, because I've tested a lot of things and then finally figured it out which are the tools which are powerful. Okay. Now, yeah, so we're going to look at the child education. And can you start different things? Okay, because that will be a gift for those of you who have attended. I strongly believe in giving, so at least you should get some gift, right? Yeah. So on the child education, what are the things that you wrote when we did exercise 1 and exercise 2? Can you just tell that? What are the things you wrote? Look at your notes and start telling. We'll do a live feedback, live mind mapping of this quickly. Science. Okay. Next, values, time management, creativity, yeah, sports, yeah, fitness, yeah, original, exercise, okay, correct. Next, punctuality, yeah, respect, perfect. Then interpersonal skills, honesty, correct. What else? Integrity, yeah, very nice. Empathy, okay, nice. Then diligent, okay. Financial skill, very nice. Communications, very nice. Let me add this side. Handwriting, very nice. See, we are getting so much innovative thing, Then comes the promptness, correct. What else? Reading, yeah, absolutely. Obedience, okay. Values and integrity, yeah. Integrity is done already. So respect is also, I think it is done. It is done. Okay, so what we just did was, we just clubbed the best of the best brains which are there in the seminars, okay? Because all of you are actually here. Instead of spending your time watching TV, you're spending it here, which tells me you guys are really serious, right? And because all of you are here with all the brains, the best brains that we have got it today, we just created a mind map by getting the best ideas. Let us count. Can you just count how many things we are able to list it off? Just count, just count. So meantime, I'm going to type in, I'm going to give a link actually. I want every one of you to type in the feedback, okay? Those of you who are giving the feedback, we are going to send this, that I'm going to show you a PDF, which will have the tools and some of the templates that you can go ahead and use it after this session, okay? So yeah, so these are all 22 session, 22 or so, right? Now, maybe I'll add one more thing, okay? I want people to be happy. It's not just looking at this, look at the entire thing, right? Now we can add pictures to it. So some of you want to do a financial skill. I can click on this and I can actually search finance, okay? And I've got some random picture, I'm just putting it, okay? This came inside this. There's a lot of editing you can do. I'm not getting into graphics editing. I'm just showing you the concept. Okay, happy. So if I'm looking at happy, I'm going to search something called as a happy. See happy, right? So you can do all these things. You can actually add images and do whatever you want actually, right? So that's the beauty of coming out with that thing. And then after you do this, you can make it graphically even more enhancing and appealing. Okay, so you can create in one way, and then you can just go and do it in a different way, right? So all these things can be done. Okay, don't worry about the tools. I'll pass on the PDF. Just focus on listening what we are actually looking at, right? So you can do all this editing. Okay, changing this here and there, that you have some time. And then you can go and do a radial way of thinking. I mean, completely radial map. So you can create a 360-degree, this kind of view. Does this sounds interesting? Yes. Awesome, right? Right? How does it look like? Maybe you can do graphics, editing, and other stuff later, but look at the wave that you can create. So I can just go and click on any one of them, and I can keep on adding it. I can add one more here. So that gets opened up here. And I'm going to put as test. And I can create one more actually. So like this. So you can keep on expanding. So that's absolutely another way of looking at it, right? So how did actually it look like? How was it? How was it? Let me hear. Let me hear from all of you. Let me hear. Do you think it was amazing? You learned a lot of things. If it is amazing, then type in amazing, awesome, just type in awesome and amazing, wonderful. Did you learn anything? The first and foremost thing, you spent some time here. You should get the value for the time that is spent. That is more important. Okay, whatever the next thing comes is a different thing. Okay, right? Super. I see many of them actually. Sarita, wonderful. Yash says amazing. And then Jai says awesome. Sunita, awesome. Yash, awesome. Thank you so much. Learned something new. Yeah, great learning experience. Preetham says, Nisesh, got the value for time invested. Fantastic. That is the first and foremost thing that I want all of you to do it. Okay. Now, there is something that I'm going to show you as a template. And this I'm going to give as a value. Okay. For those people who have invested the time of listening here, coming for 1.5 hours, listening to this, I feel it's the value that we should be respecting. Okay, for the value that you have spent, I'm going to show you something now. Some of the samples that is there. Okay, so this is the details that I've got. This is my Facebook page, Facebook, and my Instagram handler is Infinity Karthik. Very easy to remember. No rocket science. You can remember my name also very easily. I've shown you the technique. And these are the 3 different tools. I'm going to pass on this PDF. Okay. For those of you, there is a Google form which is there. If you can fill in that form, this has a hyperlink. You don't need to worry. You can just go and download it. Absolutely. As soon as this is done. Okay. So just type in. Pritham says worth listening to than watching Sushant. Absolutely, yeah. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Aman. Really take the value towards respecting your time. Absolutely, the time is most precious thing. If you're spending your time, absolutely, this should be worth it. Okay. Those of you who are going to spend this, who are going to fill this form, because I know there are a lot of people who actually registered, but not everybody came in, right? So the people who have come here, I want to really reward you with the time that you have spent. So I'm going to send you this guide which has a different software tools which is personally used by me. I spent a lot of time researching a lot of tools. Then I found few of them are free, which you don't need to pay any price. Just got to download and start using it. Okay, so this is called Free Mind. The other one is called Simple Mind. Yeah, Pritham, you can fill this right away. And then the other one is called Simple Mind. So you have the link for this. This is a one-time payment. You can just go and buy it. So that's, the free will be normally, free. It will not come with a lot of graphical things, but it's good for you to get started and whatever you want to use it. A Simple Mind is slightly better. It's one-time fee. You can use it. It will be really good. And Iowa is for people who wants to make money out of the presentation. For example, in my case, I'm giving a presentation which is really, really important for me. Definitely, I'll go for a paid tool. So Iowa is recommended for professional use. Now I'll show you some of the samples. Okay, the simple mind map. I like it. I like to keep the thing simple. Okay, because when you keep the thing simple, you will be able to understand. Success comes when you understand the concept and keep the thing simple. I'll again repeat. Yeah, Nitesh, yeah, Mac and Windows options are available for all of them. Correct. Yeah, copy paste this link and fill when you're free tonight. Absolutely, that also can be done. I'm actually putting that link here. You can just copy paste it and make sure you're submitting it. Otherwise, you're not going to get. Okay, cool. So simple mind map is created like this. The next simple mind map is like this. It's very simple. I would like to keep the thing simple, because then that's when the learning will start. If you make it complicated, nobody likes that, right? This is how you fill it with the color way of looking at it. This is how it can be as simple as this. Now, how do you implement this in your day-to-day life? Remember the Bruce Lee's words, which he said, it's not about knowing 10,000 kicks and practicing it one time. It's about knowing that one kick, which is very powerful, and practicing it 10,000 times. I'm going to teach you different techniques of how exactly you can use for today. Different mind mapping. This is one of the simple example that I've written. So these are the running a meeting, how you can actually run through the meetings. You can have an agenda and other things. Yes, Nitesh, you can make resume, absolutely. And the different tasks for the day, morning, afternoon, evening, lunch, and miscellaneous. I'll tell you, if you are making resume out of this, you'll be noticed a lot, because it's a very unusual thing. Not everybody does that. And preparing for the negotiation, how are you going to do? What are the different things that you're going to plan? What are the things? What is the consequence of winning? What the other person will think like? What are the value system? What are the emotional tendencies? What is the win-win for this? Because when you sit for negotiation, you don't get what exactly you're looking at. Entire thing will be different, right? So all those things will be there. So I've written one more business negotiation. This is how business negotiations will look like. Why I've written this? Purposefully I kept it as half. Why? Because I want all of you to know that when we start preparing the mind map, it is not that you got to complete everything in one go. You can create it in a small session. Okay, so that is how it is going to be there. Actually, are you getting it? Don't be perfect. This is one of the biggest mistake that every one of us we do it. To kill that perfection, you need a tool, the tool that actually relates between your brain and your hand, your subconscious mind and the conscious mind. That's how you make best out of it. Okay, so these are all different things. There's a story which I'm going to talk about that later. Okay, so do you guys like the way I'm actually training? Do you like the way I'm explaining the complex things? Brain is a very complex thing. Do you like it the way I'm teaching it in a very simple way? Yeah, if you like it, if you like the way I'm teaching, actually, yeah, Nitesh, Vikram, I'll send you the recording. Okay, make sure you fill that, and in the comment section you add, so I know that in the Google form I need to send it to you, because a lot of the thing, right? So there's a few, all of you acknowledge that you got a value for the time that you have invested. So because that is a first preference for me. Okay, but however, for those of you who wants to take this to the next level, okay, you want to, maybe you want to prepare a resume out of this, or probably you want to create a vision of your life using the mind map and all those kind of things, going to the next level. I'm actually, there is a time that is involved. Remember, the time is most valuable. If I need to spend more time in figuring it out what I have to teach with you guys, obviously there is an energy exchange fees that is there. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what is that energy exchange fees that we are going to cover. And if I have a permission from all of you, so is it okay if I'm going to take another 10 to 15 minutes to cover whatever the things that I'm going to be covering? If you guys decide to continue the education, see, afterwards you decide whether you're going to take it or not. It's absolutely fine. You already got the value for the time that you are there, right? Nothing harm in listening. Then you make a decision, right? Yeah, I thank you, and most of you are giving me the permission. Then let me get started with this. Okay, so this will be a personal training that will be completely conducted by me. That is Infinity Garthing. You can see me here. So how to learn anything fast? See, this is one of the topic which is very, very important. So we are in COVID situation. There's a structural change that is happening. After the things are changed, life will never be going to be the same. You got to be a quick learner. Okay. So if you don't learn the art of learning anything fast, there are other people who are going to take a race ahead of you. So what is going to be covered in this? Techniques to learn anything fast, proficiency of learning, get out of the trap of becoming a master in all. This is one of the perfection problem that we have. And not only that, whenever you want to learn with something, you got to learn your skill matrix. What is the proficiency level you got to master, and then you have to start, because most of us don't know. We spend a lot of time. 10 principle of rapid skill acquisition. How do you acquire a lot of rapid skills? So because 10 principle of effective learning, all these things will be covered. Next thing, what I'm going to cover is success blueprint. Okay, so what is success? So most of you are actually written that you already know the success. I'll tell you, the people who have come and attended my sessions, after I did this exercise, they come and say, Karthik, we entirely changed the way we think about the success. And they went out with rewriting the entire success formula. Okay, so different success is different for different people. Don't compare your success with other person's success. For you, making, some of you making money is a success. For some of you, helping others is a success. So you don't need to get into trap of what your neighbors are doing. Success is different for different people. Define your success. I'm going to help you exactly how you're going to live it. I'm going to help you with figuring it out, your life's vision. I did a lot of research to figure out how you arrive at this vision. I personally implement this in my thing. So we're going to cover two different things. One is personal vision. Second one is the social vision. It's an entirely new term that people might have not heard about it, that we're going to do it. Clarity of thought. Can you see this, this particular image? Entire thing is blur, but when you actually put this goggle, it's become so clear. So this is what you're going to reach. Now, currently, most of you will be in this state. You're going to get this to this state. Okay, that's the beauty of it. Clarity of thought. I'm going to come out with a success formula blueprint. If you start using it, your success is guaranteed. Okay, there's no way you're going to fail if you start using exactly the step-by-step procedure that I'm going to teach. Okay, so this also covers a mind map course. So what is a mind map and how to prepare a mind map? You can see a mind map that we have been put in here. Advantages of mind map. Why mind map is required? I could only cover a portion of this because I had a limited time, but there are a lot more things for me to share that I can tell you. I have more than 99 reasons why you should learn mind map. Okay, so how can you use the mind maps? So how you can use it in your day-to-day life? You just saw how exactly we prepared the notes in the seminar. I use it personally for my travel. For all my vacations, I create a mind map and I store it so that I can recall even after a few years. And office, how you can use it in office, how you can use it in a personal life, how you can do in a practical implementation exercise, different mind map templates that you can start using it from day to day onwards. And tools tutorials, different tools. What I've given you the links, I can just go through all those tools and I'm going to teach you how exactly you have to use different tools because they have different methods to use it. So for those of you who are going to signing up today, I've got two different offers. The first one is bonus number 1. I'm going to teach you on a WhatsApp promotion course, absolutely free, how you can actually start developing this thing. Whatever we're going to learn today, different techniques, we're going to put this on image. You have learned how people are able to recall the things. There is a different technique. You got to use the right kind of images, the right way, so that it's a no-brainer technique. Anybody can do it. You can create a stunning images that you can show it. You can share it. You can create 2 minutes video, which you can make it go viral. I'm going to teach you the exact tool that I'm going to use, and simple techniques. Even though you do not know anything about graphics, you will still be able to work on this. Fantastic. Without showing your face, you don't need to show your face, because many people are worried the moment I'm talking about video, you got to show your face. No, not required. Without any designing skills, you can actually promote your brand absolutely free. Whether you're actually a businessman, training person, anything that you're working on, you can promote your business absolutely free. And how do you create a different post of Instagram, Facebook and WhatsApp absolutely free of cost? People pay thousands of rupees just to get this one done. Okay, these posters and everything I'm going to show you free, absolutely. And also I'm going to tell you different techniques that you should do when you're actually going and writing those images, when you're going to actually use your videos, so that people can recall it better. Remember how I introduced myself, how I introduced my name? That was very unusual, right? Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that? Yes. So the other one is the bonus number 2. I'm going to give you for, I want all of you to be successful because I believe in giving. So I'm going to give you one more bonus. There'll be a stock market course because now financially everybody should become free. So by Mr. Sri Harsha is one of the most known personalities in the stock market, absolutely for free. What he's going to cover, he's going to cover 5 days course. Day 1, basics of stock market. Day 2, reading the chart. Third is finding the perfect entry and perfect exit, using indicators to trade. Fifth one is best practices followed by successful traders. Everything, you know, absolutely free. Bonus number 2. Okay, I'm going to cover few more things. What are the things? I'm summarizing the entire thing. You're going to get a recorded videos, 12 recorded videos before actually we start a live class, because I strongly believe each one of you can learn, have a different speed of learning. I want all of you to go through this recorded session before you come to the live session. So this live workshop session is going to be conducted over the period of 2 days, and that will be span over, you know, different hours, you know, different hours that you're going to have. So you're going to have 6+6 mastermind session. After you attend the live session, we strongly feel that you still need a lot more inputs or help. So we are going to offer 6+6 mastermind sessions, and we are going to make you a member of Facebook community and also the Telegram group, which is important. And we're going to cover how to learn anything fast, how to recall anything fast. Mind map, you're going to say what is a memory and how do you connect with the memory, what are the practical implementation exercises, different mind maps templates, different tools and tutorials, certificate of completions. Can you imagine the kind of value that you're getting, the entire thing? Okay, so if I'm going to put the entire thing together, orientation session is approximately 20K. The 1-day complete workshop, I mean, basically it is conducted over 2 days. It's going to be around 40,000 rupees. 6+6 mastermind session is around 19,999. Mindmap community and Facebook group and the Telegram is absolutely priceless because you're going to be looking at this. Then what you're having is practical implementation exercise, different values that you're going to do it. Mindmap templates, which is it is worth rupees 19,999. Some of you are going to prepare this resume in the Mindmap and sending it. If you're going to get a job because of that, what is that worth for you, right? It's absolutely, you can imagine the kind of thing. If you're getting a business because of this Mindmap, what is the value that you're going to quote about it? If you're going to build a relationship with some of the speakers who are going to be there, what is the value that you're going to look at, you know? So we got a tools tutorials which is worth rupees 19,999 rupees. So certificate of completion, overall cost, okay, if I put this the entire package of what I have covered today and what we're going to be looking at is easily worth rupees 1,32,000 rupees. Okay, it's easily rupees 1,32,000 rupees. Okay, now I know by looking at this value seems to be, you know, very, very high. For those of you who are going to take an action, okay, for those of you who are going to take an action today, I'm going to give an absolutely ridiculous deal. I'm going to give an absolutely ridiculous deal. Okay, please watch out this. Okay, so the entire value is that much. Today I'm going to give you an offer for rupees 999 rupees only. Okay, for those of you who are going to be signing up right away, you're going to get this for rupees 999 rupees. And if you have any questions for this, now this will put in the questions. I mean, put in the link for you to actually go ahead and make the payment. And meantime, this will be open for only certain limited time. After that, we're going to close this. Okay, this is going to be a one-time offer. This is still a deal. Okay, I've never seen somebody, you know, giving this. I am telling you because I am also one of the referee in Indian Memory Championship, and I know different trainers who are actually doing it, and this is something that is worthless. Nobody else is teaching. This is a life skill. Okay, what we are going to talk about is a life skill. What you are learning today is going to be there for lifetime, right? So now I want all of you to visualize this, right? Let me ask you this question. What is the best investment that your parents have done on you? What is the best investment that your parents have done on you? Can you let me know? Can you let me know? What is the best investment that your parents have done? Education. Sunita says education. Absolutely, right? Education. Absolutely. Now, what is that worth of education today? What is that worth of education or the value system your parents have given? Jay says priceless. Correct? It is priceless. I'm telling you, it's not the education. I mean, what you're actually, it's invaluable. Prasad says absolutely. I'm talking about a life skill. I'm going to teach you a technique where you can learn anything fast, and anything you can remember fast, anything that you can actually, recall faster. Correct? This, if you can master this, okay, maybe on your job, in your business or anything, right? So you got to be dynamic. Today is the word of agility. The person who learns fast, who implements fast, is a winner. Not everybody will be able to do that. Now the question that you have to ask is, you go and learn different things, right? But have you ever thought that you should first learn the master of learning anything fast? Have anybody thought about this? If you can master this one skill of learning anything fast, recalling anything fast, then you go and attend any webinar, any seminar, you are going to make a killer deal of it. There may be 100 people who are there, out of those 100 people, you will stand out because you can recall it after a few years because you know that technique. I'm telling you, it's all about technique. Okay. So if you really want to change your tomorrow, you got to change today. You got to change your today. If you keep doing the same thing that you're doing for all these years, tomorrow also it will be same. You got to take a different action today if you want to see a different future tomorrow. Okay. So if you go and look at every single successful people who have become successful, they are good learners. They're fast learners. So first thing you got to understand is master the art of learning anything fast. If you're not doing that, then you're losing big time, right? Correct. So you cannot change your future in future. Absolutely. You got to change your present to change your future. That's the fact. So those of you who are actually want to make those change in your future, and absolutely you want to take your future to the next level, because tomorrow's world is about creativity. Even with our national education policy, which was registered, which was announced recently from our Prime Minister, very clearly says that they're going to give the focus on critical thinking. And we just illustrated, Binay, the timing, the way it will be done is we are going to conduct this over 2 days. 2 days. On Saturday and Sunday, we're going to let you know the timings. When that particular thing happens, Saturday and Sunday, you got to have those, trainings. You can attend it. And for those of you who are going to sign up today, thank you, Yash. Thank you for making that payment. Absolutely, I'll promise you, this will be one of the best investment that you would have done. Okay, so every penny that you have paid, you will get more value than actually it is. For the free session, you got so much value. Can you imagine when you're paying and you're coming, how much value you're going to get it? Okay, so it's all about how you create the value. So I don't think about how much price you're paying, right? So if you're going for a movie with your family, right, one day movie ticket for your family and the restaurant food will cross 1,000 rupees, 999. For some of you, maybe just reaching to the movie hall would be crossing more than 999 rupees, going and coming. If you are in metros and looking at this, what price that you're paying is nothing actually, right? So what you're paying is only a fraction of this. See, I have my other source of income. I don't need to do this because I'm doing this purely because I want to help the people. I have a vision of creating a big, community of people who can give. How you can give? When you have good time, when you have good money, then only you can give. When you become successful, right? So if I have to do it, when I started doing a lot of experiment, I figured out that a lot of people don't know how to manage their time in the first place. They don't know the techniques about how they can learn the things faster, how they can implement the things faster. So that was the first thing I said. Then I should start teaching the people about how they can free up their time, how they can become successful, because a lot of people were not having the clarity of thought what they have to do it actually as part of this. Correct? So all these things were actually, you know, were figured it out, and then with this. So Jai, we're going to let you know because we are conducting this webinar. Yeah, so Binay, we'll send you the recording if you miss the class, absolutely. For those of you, don't worry about this schedule thing. If you are locking this time, if you're locking this price now, we'll let you know the schedule. You can actually speak to our you know thing, our you know coordinator, our business partner, Chavan sir. I can guide you with anything. For those of you who wants to pay through Google Pay, you know, PayPal, I mean, sorry, not PayPal, Paytm, everything, there's a number 7067485095. Please make sure that you are actually filling that. And for those of you, first and foremost thing, please do fill the, you know, the feedback form. Very important. You're going to get the PDF that I have actually, that I'm planning to share it. And so that is the worst. If you're coming here not filling this, that is the worst thing that you're doing, because you're missing an important value. And so can you just fill this in the feedback form only, because the chat is moving very fast and I'm also answering. There is a chance that I may be missing out your comments, right? Or probably you can just you know, just message that the WhatsApp number that you've got it, so that yeah. So when are you planning to start this paid session, Aman? It is going to be very soon. For those of you, we're going to get the sessions recording immediately as soon as you make the payment. By tomorrow, we'll send you the recording sessions. You go through it, and not only this, we'll be doing some free session also. And we are going to do some free sessions. You can come and join those free sessions also. Okay, absolutely. Because we want to build a community of the great givers, and you will get a lot more value adds also that is coming in. Please please, you know, follow me on Instagram, Infinity Karthik, and then yeah, so we'll continue. Okay, so we have pasted the bank account details also. Yeah, be nice. So you please take a note of that WhatsApp number, so that you can be in touch with us. So we're almost done with the presentation. If you have any other question, let me know. Yeah, timings, schedule, we are going to let you know very soon, because we are actually planning few sessions also. Based on that, we are going to align this. Fine. Any other questions we have? Otherwise, we're going to great session. Thank you, Jai. Thank you. It's really unbelievable. Thank you, Yash. Yeah, so I strongly believe whatever time you have invested, you should get the value for that. That's the first thing. Whether you're joining or not joining doesn't matter, okay? Yeah, so whatever I've taught you in a free session, go and implement it. Every one of us are teachers. You are actually, you're going to teach this to your kids. You can use mind maps. You can ask them to, you know, create a mind map for the entire book, for the entire textbook, and keep it with them. So just before the examination, before a day, they can start recalling it. There will be very fast recall thing that will happen. Aman Gupta, so if you want this price, then you got to make the payment now. If you have any challenge with the payment, as soon as the session is over, the number which is mentioned by the sir, 7067485095, just call that number as soon as the session is over. Okay, if you have any financial problem, anything, you still want to enroll this, okay, just pay some token amount. You speak to you know, Hridayat sir, and then get this one. Okay, get whatever the deal that you want to do it. Okay, I'm telling you again, for me, I want to filter out the serious people versus people who are not serious. So there, when people pay money and come, they are more serious, right? But you're happy to attend my all other sessions, whichever I'm going to give it free. So for those of you who are going to fill this, you know, forum, feedback form, for those people, we'll send you those session details whenever we're going to conduct next free sessions. Okay, so you can do it. And there is one day workshop also we are planning. Absolutely free. Okay, and let's see if some of you are interested, can also be there. Okay, is this fine? Is this fine? So if you have any other question, let me know. I'm more than happy to do it. So even see, if you are, don't just to worry about that schedule of the training. If this is missed out, we'll give you the next available schedule, but you may not be getting the same price if you're not booking it today. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Aman, the number is that I'm just pasting you here, 70674 85095. Okay. So this is a number that you can speak to him as soon as this call is over, as soon as this is over. Please talk to them if you have any financial problem, anything, how we can overcome this and get it this. As long as you are serious, you are willing to commit your time with whatever you're going to teach and you're going to implement in your day, in your day-to-day life, then we are going to help you out. Okay. Because I want most of you, all of you, to become successful. That's my intention. So don't make money as a bottleneck. Call them, discuss about different options. Okay. When you're determined that yes, you want to learn this at any cost, universe will bend over and will support you. Okay. If you just keep that as one of the things, saying that, okay, I don't have money and I don't know how this to be and other stuff, I'll tell you, universe is never going to support you. I'll tell you one thing, people will only those people who they want this at any cost. If you just want it, you'll never get it in your life. If you determine that you want to learn this at any cost, universe will bend over and will open the doors for you. I can't tell you anything beyond this. Okay, I'm just giving you the clue. It's all about your interest. If you're serious, if you want to make your life successful, invest in your life education. Okay, whatever we have learned in our regular education is not sufficient for us to go to a level that we want to, right? You need to actually top up. So that's why I'm saying, if you are serious, if you want your life to be successful, if you have any problem which you can't disclose it in this open forum, that is fair enough. I've just pasted the number of Chauhan sir. You can call him right after this call is over, because afterwards, when I'm going to conduct this session next time, the price will not be the same. I'm telling you, I'm giving a lot of values because we are getting started very, very soon. We want most of the people to get benefit out of it. I'm going to add more value and I'm going to increase my speed, increase my cost also. Whether you're joining, whether you're not joining, if you think, if you think that, you're right, then you're right. If you're not right, then also you're right. Okay, that's what Henry Ford. If you think you can do it, if you can't do it. Either way, you are right. See, Nitesh, probably we are planning around second week of September. So today is actually 29th, right? Probably it will be on second week actually. So if you are a full-time working, right? So the way the sessions are managed, are planned is in the morning hours between 8 to 10 is normally that we conduct, so that you get these things. These are all reasons, okay, Yash? If you want to be successful in your life, you will figure out a way of doing it. We'll try to make it as much as this possible. But again, I'm telling you, this is a life skill. Once you master this, you can learn any skill. That's what you should focus on when you want to learn, actually, right? So if you have the desire of, if you want to learn this at any cost, you want to become successful at any cost, you will definitely become successful. Universe will bend over. I'm telling you, right? So even if there is a clash, you will figure out a way. Okay, we'll figure out a way, how we can accommodate you in the next batch. Okay, you will lock this at the current price, but you will attend it at a later date. But if next time when this happens, the price may not be same, then you end up paying the higher price for the same course. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Okay, Thank you so much. I'm so glad that I was able to add value to the time that you have spent with me, and whatever you have learned, please go ahead and take the best out of it. Please fill those, the feedback form, so that will let us know what you understood, what else you want to learn from us, so that this will also help us to arrange few more free sessions for you, so that you can get a maximum value and take it forward. Okay. Thank you so much, and may God bless all of you. Thank you.